Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. This is A Life Well Spent. My name is Kelly, and on my channel I'm documenting my financial journey. So I am in the debt payoff process. I have a little bit of student loan debt left. I'm actually doing that, I think, a little bit not traditionally, because I'm not really sure what's going to happen with loan forgiveness or loan cancellation or whatever. Sort of feel like I'll get hosed in the deal regardless, but I'm hanging on to hope that we'll be able to get them canceled. We'll see. If not, I want to have the money set aside that I can just pay them off in one fell swoop. So I'm working on right now piling up the money for that. I'm also going to start investing. I was actually piling up the money a lot faster, and I realized, I think it's more important that I sit and invest. And I've passed on that. I've not done it as much as I absolutely should have. And it's time to catch up on that. And if it means that it takes me a little longer to pay off my student loans, well, then that's what it means. Oh well, technically I can have them, and they'll go away when I die. Not the greatest attitude to have, but Anyway, so on my channel, I'll introduce a budget for the month, I'll close out my budget, and then I also do videos like this one, which is where I go through my spending from week to week to week. So this is the first week. It's August 9th when I'm filming this. If you've watched the last couple of videos, you'll notice I'm in the same outfit because I just filmed them back to back to back because life has been crazy, and I've been dealing with some really stressful, really awful things, and I haven't had a chance to do any videos until now. So I'm doing them now. But I'm gonna, stagger their release. So anyway, not much more to say beyond that, other than this is the type of video where I will track my spending. I have to do this for me. When I was first starting to budget and first trying to keep control of my money, I was noticing that I was spending more than I thought I was. And then I switched to using cash, thinking, okay, this will help me. Areas where I definitely have a tendency to overspend or want to spend more than I should, cash was great. And cash is really easy. If I have $30 to spend, then all I have is $30. And if there's no more money left, then boom, I'm done with the category for that month. And that was really easy to keep track of. But when the pandemic hit, oh my God, I swear I have COVID brain. When the pandemic hit, I was doing a lot of stuff digitally, and I was ordering things and having them shipped to my house instead of going into stores. And if I went to a store, I didn't want to hand over money and get money back. I wanted to be able to just take my phone and swipe it in front of their stuff, And so that meant that I was overspending because I wasn't doing a very good job of keeping track of how I was spending, on digital platforms. So, or apparatuses, I suppose. So that's when I started doing kind of a transaction register in my budget so that I could track. It's actually designed that as I enter something, it feeds into the category, the budget category, so I know exactly how much I've spent, which is kind of interesting. If you want me to do a video on that, let me know. How do you keep track of your finances? Let me know in the comments below. How do you keep track of the money that you've been spending? Do you just kind of wait to the end of the month, and do you do it weekly? Do you just look into your bank statement? How does it work for you? This kind of seems tedious to me, I'll admit, but I also think it would be really good for I'm just me. I'm single. Nobody else looks at my budget. Nobody else has to function within this budget. But I would think that if there were two people, I have some friends with spouses, and money has been always difficult for them to kind of work out. And I would think that this would be easier. So if there's grocery money to be spent, and then I look at that and say, oh, okay, I can stock up some things on sale. But if there isn't really a lot of grocery money to be spent, then I need to be a little bit more careful. And I wouldn't necessarily know that. I know that because it's me and I can look at my budget. But if somebody else was also spending money, I wouldn't know that, right? Without looking at my bank statement and stuff like that. So I feel like this would be easier. Yeah, it requires somebody to do the work, but I think it's easier then for the other person to know what they can spend where. So without further ado, that's what this is. It is the first week, so it goes from August 1st through August 7th of my spending. Now, I have my bills set up every month so that they're all paid within the first week of the month. I think sometimes my iCloud doesn't come out A lot of them come out the very first day of the month, but they're all definitely out within the first week of the month. So by the time I hit August, actually it's more like August 6th, but by the time I hit August 7th, or the 7th day of the month, all the bills have come out. The only change there that happens on occasion is if there is a change in the amount of money I owe for my internet/TV package, which I don't want internet. Well, no, I want internet. I don't want TV. I'd really rather not have it, but it's a thing that I do with my family. It's a shared plan, and my dad, who is dealing with a spinal cord injury and can't move, there's certain things that he wants to be able to watch on TV, and they're only available on like the bigger packages, so kind of drives me nuts because they're paying a lot of money just for that. But he doesn't get much in life. He's, a quadriplegic at this point. So, yeah, it is what it is. We just suck it up. But sometimes like the taxes and the fees, like they add weird things that like, and sometimes like the fee is a little bit different one month. So on occasion, once that bill finally comes out, I may have to add like 10 cents here or $1 there or whatever. It's kind of irritating, but it is what it is. So other than that, everything is paid by the end of the first week. So that's kind of nice because I know kind of like how much money I have from now on. I'm like, hey, everything else is just wishful thinking spending, right? It's not like, oh, I need to spend this money. The rest of it is just like, well, I would prefer to spend this money right now. I'm making the choice. So, all right, without further ado, my mortgage is $676.03. That's actually going to change. July is, I bought my house in July, and when you buy a house, like you don't pay the mortgage like that month or the next month. It's kind of like, I don't know how or why. I don't know if it's like it just takes that long for the paperwork to get through or whatever. So like when I bought my house, I bought it like middle of July. My first mortgage payment was due September 1st. And so when it comes to the end of the cycle for the year, my payment changes. I don't quite know what it's going to be. Actually, I do know what it's going to be. I'm going to pause the video and pull it out because I actually really need to know this for my next budget. I have a fun little like foldery drawer here. I'm going to pull this. Yeah, that's what I thought. Shortage spread. Oh. Okay. I'm actually going to put this in my notes so that I have it for next month. I don't have to look this up again. Oh, that was silly. And it is going to be the devil's number. That's creepy. Okay. So, how this works is I get my like PMI, my county taxes, my school taxes, and my homeowner's insurance. All of that gets escrowed for me. And at the end of the year, they'll look at the balance in your escrow. It's supposed to balance out to zero one way or the other. Either you owe them and you have to pay in, or they owe you and have to refund you, which is kind of annoying because one time they refunded me almost $300, and I was like, can't you just put that on my mortgage payment? Like, why can't you just, why? They could not. It's a law. The feds don't let them. So anyway, there's always an adjustment of some kind. So it's either, like if your taxes have gone up, you might owe some in, and then they adjust your payment based on the expectation that your taxes are staying up here. And so you just sort of always anticipate that there's going to be a change. I owed like $22 this time. Sometimes it just comes down to like when they pay it out versus when they don't pay it out. So if they pay it out before they run the statement on the escrow, if they pay out like my homeowner's insurance, then it looks like my account is short, but it's not because they just paid something. So anyway, like it gets screwy by the end, but I mean, it all makes sense. All the math works really, but at any rate, all that to say, come September when I do my next budget, there's going to be a different mortgage payment. So, and mine actually went down because I shopped around my homeowner's insurance and I saved myself like, I don't know, $400 in my homeowner's insurance. So it dropped very nicely. PP&L is my electric company, so I spent $47.45 on electric. Not bad for summertime and running air conditioner a little bit. I try not to run it too much, but when it hits the 90s, can't do it. Sewer, $58 for sewer. That's a flat rate. $18.97 is my rate for water, and that is sort of a flat rate. It's the minimum that they'll charge, and then after that, it's like, if you use more than like what the minimum rate or minimum allowed is, then they start charging you more. So that came out to 18. I rarely ever go over it because it's just me in my house. So natural gas is $26.57. My Comcast, which is my internet and TV combined, I've already talked about that, $145.33, and that actually there's a little bit more. I just got like an extra 14 cents charge that I have to send out. So I will track that probably in next week's video. Went to Wegmans, bought groceries, $103.94. I bought a bunch of stuff for my mom as well, so she'll be reimbursing me for some of that. I spent $36.01 at Amazon. I got some, I don't have any of them up here, some interesting, so I got longer cables for like phones and stuff like that, and a plug that actually has like 2 USB jacks in it, which is great for the wall, and actually one for my car, which is, I didn't realize they were a thing, and so I definitely wanted to get one. $50 came in from my mom for the brokerage account that we have set up for my niece. So she gave me the 50, I take 50, and so I send $100 to that. I also put $500 into my Roth IRA. My mom gave me $200. That's my my student loan payment. Sent that out right away. Life insurance, $7.50. Planned Parenthood is one of my giving. And so that's $10. I do $10 a month. Dunkin' Donuts, I was going somewhere with a friend and we were swinging by Dunkin'. We ordered on the app and I thought I actually had money on the app. So I didn't. I had to put more on to get my breakfast. Oh, well, comes out of restaurant. I got room for it. Wegmans, $56.13. I went back to get some other stuff. Oh, actually, I take that back. That one was the stuff for me. This one up here, I actually needed to get some like chicken and stuff like that. I was trying to actually stock up on some things. $24.21, that was my check to my bank for my mortgage escrow to kind of even that, zero out that account for the year. It's so weird. It's so weird to me that they can't even like hold it. They're not allowed out. It's over like $50. They have to return it to you. You have no choice. If it's under $50, they can keep it or refund it or something. It's weird. Fair Fight, I give Fair Fight $10 a month. I spent $275 at Progressive. I paid my car insurance, basically, so that came out of my car insurance fund. My mother sent me $41, and that's for our cell phones. $299 came out of personal for my iCloud storage account. My cell phone bill was $67.30. I went over on, which I kind of expected to do, just based on, like, I knew I actually I planned for $75. I knew that between like traveling to, this place about 2 hours away to get fabric, and I knew that going to like where I went on vacation, I knew I was going to be over. So I planned to be over on it, and it wasn't as bad as I thought. Price wise, I was still kind of under what I was expecting. Joann's, I went back for some fabric. I am making a quilt for a friend and I had to get the backing fabric for it. And then I spent $14.03 at Little Caesars. And that's my spending for the week. That's a lot. That's a lot. My house and utilities, $1,143.59. And my other spending, which doesn't include things like stuff to like investing accounts, I kept that out. And it doesn't include debt payments, but that's $458.10. I am a little concerned. I am anticipating that this month is going to be kind of a bonker spending month because there's some things I need to do around my house that I have been putting off, and then I had hoped to do them in the last couple of weeks, but I didn't get to do them because of the problems with my dad's caregiver. You can watch my August budget video. I go into that in a little bit more specifics. Ultimately, he was being abused, and we had to deal with it. That's kind of why I've been MIA. So, yeah, so there's a lot of like work I wanted to do at my house, and I need to get it done, and it's going to cost money, in my yard anyway. And I'm just trying to see like kind of what I want to do and how I want to go about it. And I want to stock up on some food again because I think COVID's getting really rough, and so I may end up going way over budget. We'll see. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.